Hi, today's discussion is on the importance of lighting design. Lighting is important in everything that we do, but it's particularly important when you're talking about workspaces. You need to have combinations of lighting to get accurate lighting to represent what humans are used to, which is the sun coming up and the sun going down, and artificial light and natural light, and even today, decorative lighting, how the source of the light looks in relationship to all those changing spectrums of light. The biggest mistake that people make is assuming that because the people who put the lights in deal with that all the time, that means that they're aware of what the lights. And designing lighting is a very special kind of talent. Now, in my case, I actually studied lighting design, but I would say most of it kind of came from, believe it or not, my biology background. That is understanding the differences in the human eye. And the human eye is comprised of what's known as rods and cones. And the way I remember it is there are rods, it's like an old-fashioned name for a gun, and maybe a gun might be used at night, and rods are just not guns. But rods dictate the perception of color, and cones dictate the perception of the light, or vice versa. I can't really remember. But I know that light, color, and the intensity of the light affect your perception. And also the direction of the light and the cone of light. So if you have light sources up high and they're converging over each other, then what you get are hot spots. And in a kitchen, in a workspace, hot spots create shadows. So now you're working somewhere that should be fully, completely, and full spectrum lit. You're following shadows of yourself. And we're so adaptable as people that we don't really notice it. Why not go with the guidance of someone who's been trained and observes all those different lighting characteristics, and make sure that your kitchen looks great under any variation of artificial light, or natural light. The beauty of the lighting design, is it enables your kitchen to not be dictated by the location or amount of windows. So the possibility of changing a window or understanding the natural light that only comes in at hours that you may or may not be in your kitchen is not as relevant as people think in the beginning when I need a lot of windows because I need a lot of light in my kitchen. If you have an appropriate lighting plan that takes into account the variable intensities and color of light coming into that space, now you have what we call part of the performance package, and that is a well-lit design that is complemented by proper lighting. So having perimeter lighting in the ceiling, the proper amount off of the wall to illuminate the counter, having under your wall cabinet lighting that puts a light down on the counter, which would typically be a dark line if it weren't properly lit, now gives you a general lighting, and then to complement it on peninsulas or other parts of the room with decorative lights, which would always be on a dimmer in our case. You're getting lighting that doesn't necessarily cost you a lot of money, but that extra thought is what's making your kitchen perform as good as it looks. The other thing that's really amazing about great lighting is that you're going to get a feeling, a biological sensation of comfort by having your lighting adaptable to its combination with the natural light that's coming in. So it's not like we're living in the 1800s and we need the windows because we need to see what we're cooking. No, we need to make all the different materials blend together and look, if not the same, complement each other through the variations and combinations of natural and controlled artificial lighting. The lighting is very important and it's very rarely addressed at the proper times. And then what happens when you go to do the construction and there's a joist in the way or some type of cross member, or there's already a light there, or you need to have a company that's flexible enough to go and make the revisions to the lighting plan to not harm the whole plan and to make the adaptation so you once again have not created another situation of hot spotting or indirect lighting. So I guess that pretty much wraps up how important lighting is. To me, it's very important. And in your consideration of who you want as a designer, they not only have to be adept at getting the architectural design and the cabinetry design, the interior design, but the lighting design pulls it all together into what we call proper design management. Thank you for your time.